So this is my neighbor, and it seems like the runoff water comes straight down over here, and it looks like it keeps pushing through all the way to the side of the house, and it goes all the way in the corner. And then the other thing that the water does is the runoff comes and it goes straight across the side of the house. Now the good news is there's no obstructions here, and I could probably drain to daylight. And now from over here, there's a nice pitch that goes all the way down, so it's graded down. The problem is up over here. So this whole area, if I were to say, probably maybe a 3 or 4 foot height difference between this and this side of my house. It's a big slope. So that's one issue. Second issue is this secondary slope. So the way the backyard comes, slopes down right over here. Now it creates a channel of water all along this perimeter here. So I would say this is about another foot drop. So then this comes down and it meets up over here. I'm not too sure if you can see in the video, but then all this is all to catch water, and everything starts to just water just funnels in this corner over here. Today's the day I'm going to do my exterior French drain using the NDS EZ Drain. So I got my ditch witch, which is a trench machine, and I laid everything out. So this is my plan. So I try to get as close to the house as possible. This is really not ideal, but what I found was I could barely see right along here. That's the water pipe for the sprinkler system, and it's dug very shallow. It's only about 1 inch below ground. I actually hit one and the water started to burst, but it doesn't matter because there's no water in the house anyway. But yeah, so here's my setup. Now the reason I'm thinking about this type of setup is this is the major water problem coming on this side. There's runoff coming from the neighbor coming down over here, and you could see the slope actually. So my thought is, you know, the water's going to catch over here, then slide down, and then it's going to carry the water all the way down, and right when it finishes the NDS, I'm going to transition over to solid pipe, and you can see the chalk line running all the way down. I'm going to drain it all the way to the front of the house. So it was the first water remediation, this whole section down here. And the second one is on this side, and there's another slope that comes down over here. So my thought is on this one is, and I spoke to the manufacturer about my idea, and he agreed that the way it's going to work is this is also going to catch the water and act as a barrier, so I don't get any runoff water that comes over here. This becomes a pool when it rains. So yeah, so do the trench, put an end cap there, come all the way down over here, put a T up here, put a 90 there, put a T here, another T up here, another T here, another T here. Here, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was thinking about curve sloping it down and using a complic. Maybe I'll just go straight and do a 90, but I kind of like this. I'll just have to see if I get the trench to make this sweep over here, and then I'll put another T over here, and then just put some couplings on there. Oh, the other thing that I'm gonna do is right up here, you can see that's where the old downspout was for the gutters. Something about tapping into the downspout, this way the water comes right in here and then funnels out. So that's the plan. Marked everything as best I could with the spray paint, but I found that spray paint on dirt sucks. It's not like grass, you could barely see it. So I don't know, I'll see if I could see it when I'm trenching it out. So here's an update on my trench progress. It's been about 3 hours. I would say I'm like 30% done with it. It's much more difficult than my last project for a few reasons. Number one is it hasn't rained in like 2 weeks, so the ground is extremely dry and just makes things much more difficult. Number two reason is huge boulders, and I'm like finding buried underneath. Like here's one that's not so big, but still, you know, trenching through that is hard. The machine messes up a lot of times. Here's another one. It's a pretty good size, just give you a reference. It's like bigger than my hand. So that's the second reason. The third reason is there's just so many like trees and roots that are buried everywhere, so it's hard to get through. The fourth reason is I already busted through probably 6 of these water lines for the sprinkler system, which I don't care because I don't really care about a sprinkler system, but if I ever wanted to, but now it doesn't matter. And then this lovely wire, which I don't know what it is. I don't think it's the pool wire because, no, I guess it would be like a 12 gauge or 14 gauge, but this isn't. So anyway, it's been my my issues with this. So of course, anytime you're like mapping it out, it doesn't come out as perfect. But I got through there. Came out through here. And I stopped here. So you see I have a lot more to go. The other thing is the pipe is too thick for the trench just to go down. So you actually have to go down a little bit and then wiggle it back and forth to create a wider channel, because if you just go straight down, it's too narrow for this type of pipe. But if you just use a regular 4-inch flex pipe, just going straight down is good enough. Alright, so that's my 3-hour progress. I'll report back later. these are the rocks that I find, and this is why it takes so long. This one isn't even that big compared to other ones I found. This is a rock pile. Overheated. Gotta let it cool down. The ditch witch helped me complete my project. Alright, so I'm finished with the first phase, which is using the trencher. Now, this first side over here had to go back twice because the pipe is too wide. That's only 6 inches. That's like 8 inches. So anyway, basically what I did is I softened up the ground. So I think the rest of this has to be dug manually just to get a nice canal, nice slope. But all this is pretty much done now. There's some high spots like here. Right there is a major high spot. So that has to be dug manually. I don't think this is like the exact look I was going for, but hopefully it'll work. I still have the slope coming this way. I got one long pipe going down there, and I have 1, 2, and you can see a third coming down over here. And now this is where everything intersects to go down to a single pipe. So now I got this all the way down. Keep going. Oh, here's something interesting. So we got this PVC pipe, and it was for the gutter up here. But I didn't know if it was dirty or clogged or if it connected anywhere. But I found where it was. That's because I broke it, so that's something else I have to do manually. It's somewhere over here. Ah, here it is. Yeah, right there. So it's not so bad, you know, probably a foot perimeter dig around. Then what I'm thinking is maybe just tap into that and then just drain it all the way down. It's the right way to do it. So I got it drained all the way down, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drain this over to sunlight. So I'm just gonna notch the curb, clean all this up. So I would say phase 1 is complete. So next steps are make sure I got a nice slope and dig everything by hand or with a shovel. Then I gotta tap into that PVC pipe, and then I could start laying down the pipe, and then after that, then I could just backfill everything. So we'll see how fast that goes. Alright, so this is going to be the drain pipe that drains over to what's called daylight, which is out onto the street. I got my worm drive, and I got my diamond bit blade that cuts concrete and stone. And what I think I'm going to do is, well, I already started, I'm going to make some relief cuts, which I started and actually cut pretty damn easily. This probably took me like 2 minutes. I can't believe how quickly and easily this just went right in. I'm probably going to do some other relief cuts going across over here, and then basically just hitting it with the sledge and see what happens. coming off pretty easily. I think I'm gonna cut it again. Phase 1 is complete, which is digging the trench. Phase 2 is also complete, which is laying down the pipe. Now, I came across some issues. Some of them I could deal with, and some of them I just can't deal with. So let's take a look at it. So this first issue is this first pipe down over here. You could already see that it's lower than that one, and this one is supposed to be higher. Now, the reason for that is right around here there was a huge rock, like a boulder, sticking up about a foot, and the trench couldn't get it and I couldn't get to it. So if the rock is there, then it's basically creating a hill. So that means I had to dig everything up to bring the pitch back down. Now I could do it up to the second one. Now the reason why I couldn't bring the pitch any higher is because I'm already level on the ground over here. So I'm already level. Any higher pitch, the pipe is going to be sticking through the ground, and it's all sorts of issues, tripping hazard, and just doesn't look good. You know, it's not the right way to do it. So basically what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to treat this pipe independently. So I put an end cap here, and then I put another end cap over here. Now the theory is it's still a drainage system, so my hope is it's gonna still catch the water, and instead of running down, it's gonna catch it and then slowly release it on the ground. So that's my theory with this one. It's gonna be treated independently. So the first series of runs actually starts over here all the way down. So I've got my first end cap over here, and yeah, it's really high, but once I put the level on, you know, there's a nice tiny little pitch going all the way down, which is what you want. All right, so these two are connected. This is connected. Now I've got a whole bunch of junctions. So I got the first T here, and you see I've got this slope coming down over here. So that comes over here, and then I 90, go down here, tap into another T, tap into another T. So you see I've got everything connected on this side. Come down over here. A 45 would have been perfect, but I actually don't even know if they have 45s, and I didn't have a 45. So what I ended up doing was just connecting and making my own 45, and it came out pretty good. Then another T over here. This whole section over here was pretty simple because, I mean, just by the camera itself, you could see it's a huge slope, so I didn't really have to deal with leveling or anything. This whole section probably took 30 minutes. Those three pieces over there probably took 2 hours. Then from here on out, it just continues all the way down, and this was another pain in the ass because now the ground starts to flatten out again, so making sure everything is level as well. So my first concern is that one, and then the second concern I have is you can see it's really far from the house. Now, to be the most effective, you want to get it as close to the house as possible. Now, the reason why I ended up doing this is because the electrical panel is right up there. I already came across a few different wires that are running through here. I actually already killed all of the entire sprinkler system. I probably cut, like, I don't know, maybe 15 different sprinkler pipes plus the connections to everything. So I didn't want to risk getting any closer to the house, especially because the electrical panel's over here. I already see something is buried on this side. So whatever, it's a risk I had to take. So I come down, I keep pitching it down. Then here I stop. The reason I stop with the drainage system is because at this point I'm already away from the house. All this should just drain all the way out. So then what I did is I connected over to flexible black pipe, but this one is solid. So from here on out, it's a solid pipe going all the way down. So I just run this, and it's a nice perfect pitch going all the way down. So I just pretty much laid it down. I didn't even think about leveling it off, and I mean, it's got a nice slope. So it comes down here, and now this is where it terminates. So the theory is all the water is going to drain, and then it's going to drain into the street. So another thing I got to deal with is this curb is only 3 inches, but the pipe is 4 inches. So it's going to be a little bit of a hill. So, you know, I'll just put some concrete there, and maybe make a little hill. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. So I'm done for today. I'm exhausted. Phase 3 is going to be backfilling everything and doing this little section. I'll do that on Monday. Tomorrow I got to go return the ditch witch. I got the trailer sitting outside, and that's it. Backfilled everything for the exterior drain. We'll see how it comes out. You can see a spot right over here that's exposed. I mean, I could keep filling it with dirt, but it's just going to be so many hills. But yeah, everything is backfilled, so it's ready. Now all I need is a massive thunderstorm to test my theory and see if it works. Again, I wish it would have been closer to the house, but the obstacle courses and everything I just didn't like. Just gotta wait till next year, fill it with seeds and grass. I got my pipe. There we go. So the curb is 3 inches, the pipe is 4 inches, so I can't cover it completely, but too lazy to put the cement right now. I'll probably do that next year. Right now that's how it's going to be. So the plan is just drain all the way down. So that's it. It was a 3-day job. Done.